A single tie recently sold on eBay for $990. At first glance, it seemed mostly a curiosity, but not that valuable. Hang around to the end and you will find out what it was. Digging into this category, a near $1,000 tie wasn't the only surprise. A dozen more recently sold for $400 or more each. There were another 900 tie sales for over $100 for a tie.
Neckties are a micro-category almost no one pays attention to. Most are too wide, too narrow, stained, outdated, boring, or even garish for a second look. The opportunity is most don't get a first look. Welcome to Thrift Retailer, where we talk about the business of thrift. This is the latest episode in our Finding Value series. Who even wears ties these days?
Apparently someone. Even though eBay had plenty of ties that sold for good money. As of this writing, shopgoodwill.com only had 14 entries for ties, and none were particularly inspiring. That's a clue that thrift stores haven't figured it out. Some textile producers are good at finding high-end brand names in general clothing, but not so much with ties. Turns out the rules of thumb are about the same for ties as for men's and women's designer clothing. The single most important thing to look at is the label on the back. Here are a few designer-labeled ties that sell in the $100 to $500 range new. Some are better known for their focus on women's fashion. Ralph Lauren, Giorgio Armani, Hermes, Gucci, Versace, Burberry, Tom Ford, Ermenegildo Zegna, Prada. Real high-end ties are made entirely by hand, with each stitch carefully sewn by a skilled craftsman. Almost always high-quality silk. These ties can take several hours to make. Much like high-end purses, precise stitching and folding are signs.
Fun fact, Muga silk is one of the most expensive types of silk. Muga silk is produced only in Assam, India, and is derived from a particular species of silkworm that feeds only on two types of leaves found in that region. The silk produced has a natural golden color and a unique sheen. The production process of Muga silk involves the use of traditional techniques like hand spinning and hand weaving to create the final product.
Used ties sold online in the $20 range are easy to find and priced for $1 or $2 in many thrift stores. If you are a reseller, 10xing your money is easy with ties.
Key things to look for.
The label, no matter the type, is still attached. It's also a functional component of most ties. Brand names that tie in with sports teams, universities, fictional, and real characters are very popular. With few exceptions, silk is the only fabric worth looking at. Polyester is seldom worth anything in resale. Colors that pop, are clean and crisp without being garish can be winners. Stitching should be even, with no fraying. Length, longer is better. If you are reselling, noting extra long in the description is an added value. There should not be any stains, wrinkles, rips, thread pulls, or wear issues. Many clothing items will sell with limited wear. Ties are not one of these. Like new is the standard here. Traditional patterns and colors are the safest bet. Some designer labels, like Jerry Garcia, are able to break that rule by having amazing designs. By the way, Garcia ties are my personal favorite. Not that I have had a reason to wear one for the past few years. Tie width changes in popularity all the time. As of this writing, the range of 3 to 4 inches is the sweet spot. Some prefer the super narrow look, but that segment is small. Vibrant solids are the safest bets, as they are easiest to coordinate. Avoid discount store brands. Put a high-end tie next to a big box tie and you will understand. Other brands to watch for: Canali, Paul Stewart, Zegna, Quintessai, Polo, Ralph Lauren, Kitten, Ike Bihar, Brooks Brothers, Zegna.
There is also money in seasonal ties.
As Halloween becomes more and more an adult holiday, these ties will continue to grow in popularity. It's an easy way for someone to add an accent at work or at a party without going all in on a costume. In October, the more garish, ugly, or outdated the tie, the better. They aren't worth a lot more than the regular tie price, but they do sell for Halloween. Now that Christmas parties are making a comeback, men like to have an accent tie around the season. A designer's name and/or licensed character can add value. So check out that tie rack. You might just find some value that others missed, like the vintage-ish Chick-fil-A tie that sold for $990. On top of that, a Hermes tie sold for $999.
Thanks for watching and listening. This episode written, edited, and produced by Tim Jeboer, Thrift Retailer, dedicated to the business of thrift. You can find him on LinkedIn. He would love to connect. Voiceover by Descript.